Well, good evening. I'm going to open us up in prayer. First of all, I'd like to thank you guys for coming out to Celebration Church. We were honored to be a host. Um, you know, you could have gone anywhere else, but you chose here, and so we're honored and grateful and blessed. First, if you don't know me, my name is David Gonzalez. I'm the campus pastor here for the Lower St. Bernard area. And it's just an honor to be able to meet. If you guys got any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I love to talk, and as most preachers do, but let's go ahead and pray. Heavenly Father, we come before you in the mighty and precious name of Jesus Christ. Lord God, that we ask that you guide this meeting, that what we hear and what we learn, we retain. Father God, we know that your plan's not our plan, and your ways are definitely not our ways. But Father, that we would take everything that you have allowed to be spoken here tonight, Father, that we would understand, that we would have fruitful discussion, Lord, that you would just guide us in everything that's to take place tonight. And with that, we give you all the praise, all the honor, and the glory in the mighty and precious name of Jesus Christ. Amen. At this time, I'm going to turn it over.
Good night, everyone. Thanks for coming out. We welcome you. My name is Nisha Ankalade. I'm part of this organization. We're the one who put this meeting on. We're going through the whole Violet City, 70092 zip code, because as you all know, the port is coming. The port is here, so we are here to inform you of what's going on and the status. We, as the organization, we're called the Violet Action Committee. We are here to inform you. We're going to have some surveys. We would like to know what is it the community wants, what is it you want to see the community to look like, the Violet City, when its port gets here. For everyone who do not know, this is the LIT, that stands for Louisiana International Terminal. This is going to be the biggest shipping container in the United States of America. So imagine that. So with this coming into our community, the 70092, we will be the hardest impacted. So we as an organization, we would like to be that buffer between the community and the port. We would like to know what is it people want, what is it that people expect, and we have some expectations and some demands that we're putting on the port as well. So we will be meeting with the port. With the surveys, we will take it back to them and let them know this is what our community wants. This is the third meeting. The very first meeting we had was with Old Violet. That's the community that sits right next to the graveyard. We had another meeting 3 weeks ago. That was anybody from Goodwill all the way to Reunion. Now this is the third meeting. This is anybody who lives on Colonial and all of the side streets. So this is our third meeting. Again, my name is Nisha Ankalade. I'm going to let all of our members of the organization come up. I am a community activist, and we're here to serve the community.
Good evening. My name is Lance Rodney, and I'm part of Violet Action Committee as well. I've been a community leader in this area for quite some time, since I've been down here. But this port is a very serious deal for us. I hope you guys don't take it lightly, because if we don't put all our interest in what's getting ready to happen, then we're going to lose out. We, like Nisha said, we're going around to different communities within Violet to get their input and what you want this port to look like. Because we, as a committee and organization, we're trying to put together a plan to present to the port. And hopefully they'll accept our plan, and it's going to be in the best interest of the community, with y'all input as well, with the surveys. So take advantage of this, because it's, we want to have first dibs on everything in this community. We don't want them to just come in our community and just take over, because that's the plan. That's the plan that they had, but they didn't know that we were interested as well. So we have some other members that want to introduce themselves. Some of them are not here, but most of, a couple of people are here. But you want to introduce yourself to them?
All right, Lanny, what's my name?
Thomas Johnson.
Hey, how's everybody? I'm gonna go from the book. I have a question. So I'm a former school teacher over 50 years. I never graduated myself, but so. Have any of your local, state, or parish officials asked you a question about how you feel about the poor? I mean, they didn't send you a notice. They didn't. You don't see it on the commercials. Nothing. Where y'all live at? All right, that's okay because we're here. You will be heard, and all you have to do is bring forward your suggestions. There's no such thing as the poor isn't coming. There are certain groups saying we're against the poor, we're against the poor. It's here. Now the question we want to know, if these millions of dollars of tax revenue gonna be spent in Arabi, Chalmette, New Orleans East, Blackman Parish, or we gonna have a share, a designated, what they call block grant, for, I'm not getting ahead of myself, for the people involved to help them to make sure that we overcome some of the things we are gonna be challenged with. Not only you, your children, your grandchildren, in years to come. So don't think that you're just sitting in here and you don't have no power. You have great power. Other parishes and other areas up there along the river, they have fought the port and got concessions. They didn't win, but they got enough concessions. You go up and down Tropicana, you don't see too much going on because those people fought, got the barriers they needed for noise, drainage, for transportation, etc. If we don't open up our mouth, we're going to be in trouble. I don't want to preach today. We've already heard from the pastor, okay? But and we need you. We will have an advisory board from the community. So the fact that you came out here tonight, keep on coming out and go back into the community from where you live and spread the word for us. And we can go up, we won't read line for line what the survey asked for, but there are 3 sections. They ask for your first 3 ideas, most important concerns, and then it allows you to add one, because we don't know what's on your mind. So hopefully you can do it and turn it in tonight, but if not, we'll find a way that you can drop it off at one of our locations. But we need you to go back to the community, go back into your churches and spread the word for us.
My name is Tracy Robinson. I'm a resident of 2400 Highland Drive with my husband, Peter Robinson. We are part of this committee. This port is not coming. It's already here. It's going to bring a large economical impact to this area. Some of us, I don't have any little children, I have grandchildren. We want to look forward to, if we don't do anything, it'll fall upon our children to do it. Let's do it now. Let's work together. We're few in numbers here tonight, but we can spread the word. We can let people know that we're the Violent Action Committee who are working for you. Nothing personal, none of us are getting. Not getting no money from the port, not being in no back door getting anything. This is not just for, per se, black people. This is for the whole Violet area. This will affect everyone, and everyone can benefit from this. We all can benefit from this. This area could be a more better place to live. That's what we're working for. We don't just want the port to come here, set up, do what they need to do, and just go on about their business. That's not how the port works. This is going to be the largest port in the United States of America. They're saying the world. For all we know, it's going to be that large. So we, as the community, we will benefit from this. The community, imagine your community looking 100% better than what it looks now. We don't have anything down here in the lower part of the parish. We have no banks. We have no stores. We have no community centers for our elderly. We have zero down here. We're looking forward to that impact from that port affecting us in a better way, not a negative way, in a positive way. So if you hear small in numbers, go back and tell your neighbors, stop saying the port is not coming. It's already here. It's already here. It's here. It's not on its way, it's here. And Nisha's gonna come up here and explain a little more, because we thinking the port only has on St. Bernard Highway. Not so. The port owns a large amount of acres and land right here, right where we're sitting at. They own a whole lot. Again, we're the Violent Action Committee. If you need our assistance or if you need to know anything, you can even contact us. Thank you.
Okay, I'm taking off the Violent Action Committee hat, and I am putting on the St. Bernard Advisory Board hat. I sit on a board with the port. We actually have a meeting on tomorrow. This group was formed about 3.5 years ago. I was expecting someone else to be here with me. I don't know if he's going to make it, but I'm to tell you all as far as the status of the port and break down the port. I thought I had, I don't think I packed it. But anyway, let me tell you, and we did pass out flyers to everyone, all of down Colonial and all of the side streets. So the port, I'm gonna just give you insight of how we got here. The port, originally, as you all know, was supposedly going to the Miro, one of the Miro pastures. It didn't happen. The port is here now in Violet. We were told the reason why it did not go to Miro, because supposedly there's a bend in the river that the big ships will not be able to make that bend, and the waves would be pushing the ships off the levee. So that's what they told us. I don't know if that's true or not. However, it is here. So how they acquired all of the land they have, if you all can imagine where the graveyard is and going all the way down to Reunion, all of that land is for the port. Even though the school sits in the center of that land, they have all of the land around the school except the school. Right now, there's a pending suit from the school board against the port. So that's just pending right now. The port is waiting for one more permit to begin building. All of the little work that you've seen so far, that's just preliminary. They had small permits to get that done. They're waiting for one more permit, either in March or the beginning of the next quarter. Once they get that last port, it's gonna be on and popping. You're gonna see the cranes going up. You're gonna hear the noise. They're gonna be drilling. They've had 10 surveys so far dealing with the port. So remember I told you about LIT, the Louisiana International Terminal. Go on their website for anyone who does not know, type in Louisiana International Terminal, all one word, .org, I think it is. If it's not .org, it might be .com. That is the official website for the ports. You will find those 10 surveys that they've already done. They were independently done. You will find the drainage, how we're going to be impacted with this port. You will find air pollution, how it's going to impact us. You will find traffic, which is going to be horrendous. They're looking at, once this port is up and operating, imagine the traffic we have now, and especially during rush hours, work hours, school hours, the buses for the kids. When the port is up and running, it's going to be 7 trucks per minute traveling the highway, added to what we already have. It does not look nice for us. We cannot stop this unless God himself comes down. So again, we as the community are here to stake our part in it. If this is what you're gonna do to us, this is what we want. They did say this bridge here, all of the trucks have to travel to get into the port. They have to go over the bridge. Once they drop down off the bridge, it's going to be a road that brings them into the port. That's to keep them off of St. Bernard Highway. When they're exiting the port, it's going to be the same thing. They're gonna have to travel that same highway and then come back over the bridge. I posed the question, what's gonna stop them from getting onto St. Bernard Highway after they drop down off that bridge or once they're coming into the parish? And I was told they have no control over that. They just know that it's going to be mandated that when the trucks come, they have to enter through that road and exit. And the only way to get to it is over the bridge. So we are going to definitely be looking to see, we're going to be visiting the St. Bernard Council. We're gonna probably meet with our parish president and the council board members to see, can we get either a law, an article, something that we can keep these trucks off St. Bernard Highway. Because I was at the light 2 weeks ago, coming down Colonial, and stopped right there at Judge Perez, and sure enough, a big 18-wheeler, they came over the bridge, they got in the left lane, and when the light turned green, up Colonial they went. And I'm told, when I asked a few people about it, if you all know anything about the trucking business, they get paid by the loads. So the quicker they could go dump a load and come back and reload and go dumping back and forth, they prefer to take St. Bernard Highway because there's no lights until you get to Parish Road. And then it's less traffic, and they're always moving. If they're moving on Judge Perez, you know you have more lights, you have more schools. The only school on St. Bernard is Tris. But during school hours, St. Bernard is already almost bumper to bumper, depending on what time you leave. So their objective is to get to Parish Road, whether they're gonna shoot out Parish Road and go hit the interstate or the east, or even if they're gonna go down Poland, their quickest way is, let's take St. Bernard Highway. So we need to find out how we can stop that. But like I said, they said that they cannot stop that. They're here to just mandate that they go over the bridge, but once they get to Colonial, they don't have any control over that. So how they got all of this land, when they decided to move it here, they purchased from the Liverdares. So I was surprised, I didn't know the Liverdares had all of that land. So the Liverdares presented to the port, you're gonna buy all of our land or none at all. So that's how they have so much land, the port. If you all notice on St. Bernard Highway, right there by Colonial to Ella Mumphrey, if y'all notice where they used to park the trucks, Eric Robinson, and now they have it fenced off, that is for the port. So that's a piece of land they really don't need. Eric did say he asked to buy it, but the port refused to sell it. So they had to move their trucks. So if you notice, they're pushed over more towards Ella Mumphrey because that is Eric's property there. But what's fenced in, that's for the port now. So the graveyard, they're not going to touch the graveyard. So that's what they're telling us. They're not going to buy out Violet. That's what they're telling us. They say they don't need Violet, but within 5 years, there will be no more Violet. So they have all of the land from the graveyard all the way down to Reunion, from the levee, all, cross over St. Bernard Highway, all the way back, cross over Judge Perez, and if you can imagine where Oak Ridge is, all of that land that runs alongside the bridge, all of that is for the port. If you're coming down Colonial and you get to the red light by Judge Perez and you make the right, well, right before the light and go into Our Lady of Lord's Church, right? And if you continually driving and you get to the end of where their property line is, keep going down all of that till you get to the shrimp factory and all alongside the bridge, all of that is for the port. So the port is going to be built in 3 stages. Once they get their first permit, if it goes the way they want it to go, they're looking to be up and operating by 2029, the end of 2029. So the port has 3 stages that they broke it off into. The school sits in stage number 2. So they're not even worried about the school, even though our kids are gonna be there in the school when all of this is going on with the construction, with the pollution, with the noise. I don't know what to say about that, really. But imagine this is the port here, from this chair to here, and the end of here. So this is stage 1. This is stage 2, where the school sits, and the back half is stage 3. So once they get the permit, they'll start all construction here. And they're looking, like I said, if everything goes well and no hiccups, by the end of 2029, stage 1 will be completed. Stage 2, where the school sits, it may be settled, it may not, I don't know. If it's not settled, they'll probably skip stage 2 and probably start building on stage 3. This port is, they have estimated to bring in billions of dollars. Well, actually trillions. But the parish itself, the parish we live in, it's going to affect our taxes. They mapped it out within 5 years once they start building. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I want to say we're going to benefit like $50 million or so, this parish. So that's why we're here, to make sure Violet City, we get our share of it, that everyone knows who's been here, how this parish kind of works. Everything stops in Arabi and Chalmette. So that's why we're here tonight. Let's see, anything. So yes, so like I was saying, go to their site and you'll be able to see the different surveys that have taken place so far, a total of 10. Anything from noise, drainage, pollution, air pollution, vibration, is just a lot that's out there. I do want you all to know, if anyone, I'll pass this around and you all can pass it back. So far, the port is partnering with Nunez. So it will be jobs. So if you know anyone, family members, neighbors, relatives, we want to make sure people in a 70092 have first dibs, but they have to be active. They have to go and start at Nunez. There's a QR code. They will train, and you can get certificates in any type of, what is it called though? The heavy equipment? The heavy equipment operators. So it's different courses. They have all of the information there at Nunez, so you can scan the QR code. So tell your family members now to go and be prepared now. Once they get the certifications, the Tchoupitoulas port is hiring. That port is going to, well, this port here in Violet, the Louisiana International, that is an extension of Tchoupitoulas. When this port here gets up and running, Tchoupitoulas is gonna be more of a holding. They're not gonna be operating on Tchoupitoulas as far as, because they won't have to go all the way up the river anymore. They can stop right here and do everything in Violet. So that's how big this port is gonna be. Any questions? And one thing they did say, once you're, if anyone you know, if they wanna get started and get the certification and start at Tchoupitoulas, once this one opens, they can transfer down here. Yes? Does anybody need copies? Yes. Thanks, Pastor. All right. Any questions for me? Yes. Okay, so the question is, what is going on with the school? The school has the school board, St. Bernard School Board, have a sue against the port. So that's it. So they are not selling. Oh, no, that's fine. So. Correct. I totally agree. I would say go to your school board meetings. I would say flood the school board. All of their emails from Doris Borche, the superintendent, their emails are on the site. So I would say flood them, because I really don't have the answers to that. Thomas wants to answer. Hold on.
I'm gonna piggyback on the job search too. Please, they're putting everything in front of your face. We just don't read it. I'm not bashing. I was saying this just now. They're so prepared. And these are our state representatives, et cetera, et cetera. They are already training or preparing to train prisoners in Plaquemine Parish Prison and St. Bernard Parish Prison for the job that's coming up. So that's why it's important that our children, you know, we talk to these young boys, et cetera, instead of running around here trying to be hip and all that stuff, to get the training that she was talking about. Charlemagne High will have some courses for them, but they can start this year and be prepared for those jobs. Now, in reference to the school board, we're not totally defenseless because there are charter schools. If you don't want your child in that environment, maybe we can petition although the port is not in the school building, but there'll be grant money available. We'll do what other schools, other areas did. Along the river parishes, there was a plant that was producing environmental hazard. They got a grant and they moved the school and they got I guess you would say a charter school. We got educators in Seminole Parish, superintendents from Seminole Parish, former principal from Seminole Parish, so if we have to, but it's gonna have to come, like what the survey say, what's your priority? You just gonna let the kids sit there? Because they're just pawns for the school board. The school board gonna eventually get it. But not only moving the kids, don't just pluck them out of the school like they've been in and throw them in another school and put them in special ed classes, but let the grant, you know, we would propose, that better be Jesus. That was him? Don't answer. Oh, no, but you know, I'm gonna tell you about the power you have in our organization. We'll have if y'all would back us and support us and et cetera. When the school board get ready to make a decision, like she said, here's what our surveys say. This is what we want. Move the kids as a group into a new school. Don't break them up into little pieces and send them to this school, that school, that school. Then they're going to start acting up because they're affected by that. They're going to be picked on by the other kids. They may be a little slower than the other kids because of the interruption in education. Then they're going to make them special ed kids. So those surveys are important, as she said. If you fill out those, we know what you want. We'll be better equipped to fight for you. Because we're ready to fight for you. Take this, I'm ready to fight. I'm the militant one. She's the one always complaining about. I'm ready to shoot.
right, any other questions? Oh, yeah. Does everyone have a survey? Everyone have a, all right, we want everybody to fill out a survey. And I just want to point out to some of you all, if you all notice and pay attention to your parish, these are some other ways you know that the port is coming. Even though I know when we were passing out the flyers and when we run into people, a lot of people, some people may say, the port's still coming? I thought they stopped that port. They have not stopped the port. Pay attention. If you all notice on Judge Perez, do y'all see the people working? They're putting lights up on Judge Perez. They have new poles, they're putting lights all up and down Judge Perez. So all of this is because of the port coming. They're also putting them on St. Bernard Highway, if you pay attention. You just have to look and see. They have the lights going up there. There will be a road, there's going to be two roads. One, they're already preparing, if you go down Parish Road to the right, is gonna connect on Parish Road, is gonna wrap around and swing, it's gonna connect somewhere in Violet. I don't know where. When I go to the meeting tomorrow, I will ask. I've asked before, they don't know just yet. It keeps, oh, we don't know yet, we haven't narrowed it down. It's out of 3 different spots. So it's supposedly gonna connect in Violet, but they're already driving the pilings off of Parish Road right now. Yeah. Oh. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what they said. That road, it benefits us too, to be honest with you. I'm not talking that's where they are gonna use that. That was one of the proposals, yes. Okay, because they're doing stuff right there on the side of Smith. Well, they're just doing, clearing out dirt and stuff, trees and stuff like that. So that's what they're doing, that is.
Any other questions?
I just want to point out something. Even though you don't see a lot of people, even though you don't see a lot of people here, we have been successful with several communities. The communities that we've done, we had a large turnout. You might not see a lot of people here tonight, but we did circumvent that area and passed out flyers and also talked to several people to come. But I don't know what the interest is. So don't get discouraged, because we need everybody in the community support and all y'all ideas. So, I mean, there are gonna be other meetings with Oak Ridge, like you told them how many communities, Frankie Place, Highland. We haven't did those areas yet, so we work in those areas as well.
Any other questions?
just want to say this, not defending my daughter because she's on the school board. But what we need to do as a community, we need to go to the school board meetings so we could hear what's going on. Let's not assume. Let's go to those meetings, flood those meetings. We need to go to the council meetings also because the port is being discussed there. Believe you me, it's being discussed. And sometimes there's some heated things going on at that meeting. My husband and I have been there where it's almost been a fight amongst the councilmen about the meeting, about who's for the port, who's not for the port. And I'm a serve notice on you. And I'm maybe out of term. But see a lot of them SOS signs, those people for the port. Those people are for the port. Don't you sit there and believe it. How they came out with those SOS signs, and I'm going to say this because I remember, they used Willie Smith as the porn. That has been the porn, Willie Smith School, because they know we're passionate about it. It's Violet Consolidated, where all our parents went, and we went. So they know we were compassionate about it. So that's how they started forming Save Our St. Bernard. Save Our St. Bernard. But now it's about us as St. Bernard building up St. Bernard. That's what we need to get assigned. We're for building up St. Bernard. And I just want to let you know, just try to go sit in some of those meetings. You'll be surprised. You will be surprised to listen to what's going on with the president and all the councilmen and the port. You'll be shocked.
Okay, that's what I was about to get to. There's 2 council meetings a month. It's one in the afternoon and one in the evening. So the afternoon is at 3, the evening is at 7. And I want to say it's the first and the third Tuesday, if I can remember. It's been a minute since I've been to one. But the first and the third Tuesday, those are, and you can also go on the St. Bernard Parish government website, and they have the meetings. And the school board meetings are when? So the second Tuesday and the fourth Tuesday. So all meetings are on a Tuesday unless an emergency meeting comes up. So your school board is Tuesday, the second and the fourth Tuesday, and the council board meetings are on a Tuesday. The school board meeting is right there at the school board office, St. Bernard, and right before you get to Parish Road, what used to be the old C.F. Riley. Yes. Yes. Oh, Buffon and St. Bernard. Okay, noted. Any other questions? For anyone who came late, we have some, you can scan this. This is a QR code. This is for Nunez. Nunez have programs going on that's to get people prepared for these jobs. It's where they will go and they will get a certificate for heavy equipment operators. So you could go there, and so if you know some youngsters or female or male, have them to go and sign up now and get in these courses. Once they finish, they can get a job at the Chapatoulas Port. And if they want, once this port here gets here, they're able to transfer. All right, any other questions? Yes. Right. Once they go to Nunez, they will let them know everything that's needed. Yeah. And depend on what type of grant money they have, they'll probably even get it paid for because it is needed. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes, Pastor.
You may have answered this, just out of curiosity, only because I guess I'm thinking of this. Will the port be open on Sunday?
Yes. 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 Yep. Any other questions? No, go ahead.
So, I understand that we're trying to, see what is afforded to us with the port being here. Obviously, there's a lot of needs in our community. I mean, it's the dam, you name it. It's
Right.
I guess the question is maybe not even known yet. What is the likelihood, like, to improve our community?
Mm-hmm.
From ground up almost, 'cause I know our kids, man, they really need,
A lot.
they need hope.
Yes.
And so my question is, and this is community driven, what are the likely chances of what we're, not a selfish gain, but for our city, what are the likelihoods of those things are possible? What we're doing here, and we're asking these questions, like what is the possibility of them saying, yeah, these are legitimate wants or demands?
Mm-hmm. All right. I'll let the president answer.
Well, like, like we mentioned earlier, we're a Violent Action Committee, and we're actually, we don't have a vested, we're not, how can I say, we don't have a stake in the port's plan, in their master plan. And right now, we're kind of asking, where's your master plan? Okay? We want to see on that master plan, section 6.232 violate, which there is none now. So with that being said, your question, we have to put forth a strategic plan. And that strategic plan would pinpoint all the things we need in our community, whether it's community centers. We need a lot of commerce in our area, because they're going to have within their 4-block wall businesses that support, that support them, that brings revenue to their businesses. But we don't have revenue to bring to our communities. So with that, huh? Right. So and that's the power we have as a community. Once we build that, once we get these surveys filled out within each community, we can put together a strategic plan with the connections that we are communicating with now. So it's very possible that we're gonna have a strategic plan. Very, very possible. And as far as the kids go, all of that's gonna be included in that plan, you know. There's gonna be things for elderly people, you know. So yeah, that's a good question, though. Right. Yeah, and unfortunately, we have a lot of people here. When I went through the neighborhood, I don't know if it's a younger community that's in Colonial. I know there's a lot of older folks that live on the street Colonial, but back in the areas, there are a lot of young families. I don't know how interested they are in the port or how much they know about the port coming here and the seriousness of it. I'll be honest, I was ignorant. Yeah, it's oh yeah, it's definitely a fighting chance. We just have to be prepared. A lot of people kind of discourage the movement and the idea of trying to, either dream about partnershiping with the port because they don't really. They're saying they don't have to deal with us, but they have to. Yeah, you're coming into a community of people that's been disenfranchised and underappreciated in this parish for a long time. So they want to make this, they're going to have to make this look presentable. They can't make a mistake. They can't make a mistake because the whole world is watching this particular port. The whole world.
Small as we look in numbers, this is not the port's first rodeo, and they have gotten embarrassed and lost time and money because they tried to bulldoze their way over certain people. Now, we will call upon state legislators, we will call upon other activists who, like the people along, I keep saying, the people along the river parishes, because they went through this already. So we will, our group, we will get it, we have contact, I know I have, and some of us have contact. They're watching, they're sitting back and they say, whatever you need from us, information. We're not gonna tip our hand and say, well, we know how to get this from them, get that from them. But we're not just begging to say, please, please. We're saying, hey, this is what the state, this is what the law requires, this is what this statute. We're not a political organization, but we are saying to those who want our votes, then what you gonna do for us down there in Violet? You're just gonna take care of New Orleans East if you get elected, Blackman Parish. You got to come and help us. So the port is looking to see how powerful we are, but we're only as powerful as we pull ourselves together. We don't need the numbers, but we need the statistics and saying that, hey, this is what you did at the other area of the port for that area. We want you to do it for us. And one of the key things is designating that block grant to make sure that that money is coming in, not just for the beginning, but throughout the existence of the port, that the area of Violet, the whole parish really, but we talking about the area of Violet, get our due process, and we're not asking for pennies.
Okay. And I want to piggyback off what Pastor said. We do hear that a lot. People are surprised to hear that the port is still coming. And that stems from, if you pay attention and watch the news, watch and read the newspaper, our elected officials, they were the ones to say stop the port, and the port wasn't coming. So that is still being said. And like Ms. Tracy said about the SOS signs, you all still see that. So a lot of people think, okay, the port is not coming, or the port is not here, or I thought the port was stopped. The port is here. So I just wanted to let you all know that the port is here. And like I said, the only thing that's holding it up right now is that last permit. Once they get the last permit, that's it. And that can happen any day now, any day. In this quarter or definitely by next quarter, they're looking to have that permit. And that's when you're gonna see way more activity going around. This quarter ends the end of March, so the next quarter will be April, May, or June. They're looking to have the permit, and that's the final permit. That's from the Corps of Engineers, and that's when they'll start.
Then start bringing ships.
Ships? Oh, yeah. And just on that note, before we close, if you all know, I think it's across Ms. Green from your house. You know those little houses, if you're going down St. Bernard, right before you get to Reunion, and that big house, old house that's fenced in? I think is either 4 or 5 houses on that short street. All of those houses have already sold out to the port, except one. The first, right, well, that's what I'm saying. Except that one. Yeah, except that one. The first one to sell out is one of a small white little house wooden for $250,000. Yeah, so now all of the other ones except one. So, no, right before River Bend. Right before. No, it's not on the riverside. If you're going down, it's on the left-hand side, the school side. It's not Reunion. It's before you get to River Bend. The houses sit right on St. Bernard Highway. Yeah, little small houses. Okay, yes, it's a little short street. So that's just, so think about it. They're not gonna be buying and paying that amount for houses if that port is not coming. Yeah, and so, and everywhere you see the signs, do not park and no trespassing and all of that stuff, all of that is the port. All of that is the port. So I just wanted to leave y'all with that, so. Well, they have said they're not gonna touch the graveyard. They actually said they're going to extend and give some land to the graveyard so they can extend it. but that's still going back and forth because they're trying to see exactly the documentation as far as, no, somebody will fill you in on that, right? The school is in litigations. The school board put a sue against the port, even though they had about 5 suits against the port with the DA's office and different people. So those have been dismissed because it's preliminary right now. They may come back up. The reason why they were dismissed, because they filed sue against the port as if the port was building up, and that's not happening right now. So that's why the judges dismissed them right now, because right now nothing is going on. So a sue was filed for them to stop building the port. The port is not being built right now. So once they get the permit and they start building, they'll probably come back and put those suits in. But right now, the only standing suit is the school board against the port. So that's where we stand with that. Yes. No, we don't have a date. Right now, the last permit to actually start building a port is pending. That's, and they're looking to get it either this quarter or next quarter. Yes, yes. Yeah, yes. So Thomas just showed us that in the newspaper. So, go figure. So you better get your people and go get them enrolled.